Hello, I'm Gavin Torres, and I'm going to be presenting my Resident Evil 4 HLDD. My initial pitch: Resident Evil 4, a very anticipated next installment of the Resident Evil franchise, finally makes his return in a new twisted nightmare that Leon Kennedy must adventure through to save the world. The narrative plot. Resident Evil 4 follows Leon S. Kennedy, a former Resident Evil protagonist, as he is sent on a top-secret mission to rescue the President's daughter named Ashley. Leon's mission to recover Ashley takes him to a location in Spain unknown by the world. The closer he gets to finding Ashley, the more he realizes that something much sinister is at play. After progressing through the opening of the game, Leon is confronted with the harsh reality that the locals and terrain are all against him, as the land is riddled with mysteries, traps, and life-threatening puzzles. And the locals themselves have horrific inhuman abilities, and are all led by an all-powerful cult leader by the name of Osmond Saddler. It's up to Leon to bite the bullet and jump down the rabbit hole to save Ashley. The characters. Leon Kennedy is the playable character. He's a trained combat expert, experienced with horror. Ashley, the President's daughter. The player's goal is to rescue her. Osmond Saddler, the main villain of the game and cult leader of all enemies Leon must face off against. Ada, Leon's companion from a previous game who occasionally lends him a hand in this one. And the Merchant, a mysterious NPC that supplies the player with the majority of their items and weaponry. The setting. This game takes place in many twisted, disgusting areas in a fictional area of Spain. There are multiple settings as the player progresses. The main setting would be the filthy starting village inhabited by corrupt villagers. The next area is a gothic castle with demented rituals at every corner. And the last major setting would be an island that is secretly an enemy science facility, which is also home to many dangerous genetically modified enemies. And in between all of those main settings, there will be smaller areas such as sewers, mines, factories, and other locations. The gameplay. The game is an over-the-shoulder third-person shooter. The player acquires key items to progress through puzzles as well as new weapons, and upgrades own weapons from a merchant to tackle greater foes as the game progresses. The combat features an arsenal of different guns that all feel unique, as well as grenades and a combat knife. Certain enemies also have special combat interactions that make the player feel very powerful, such as suplexing a zombie or roundhouse kicking 3 enemies at once. As for non-combat gameplay, the player will solve puzzles, combine and sell treasures, and escort Ashley to safety. Level design. The levels are divided into chapters. Each chapter level features scary surroundings and tells a story simply by environmental details. Each level has secrets to be found, including sneaky artifacts to find and chance enemy encounters. Ashley is also incorporated into the level design, as there will be many hiding spots to leave her if you feel as though an area is too dangerous to bring her along until you clear out any threats. Levels will also feature slight backtracking with changing times of day as the story progresses. The intended audience and marketing. The intended audience is teenagers and adults ranging from 18 to 40 who share a taste of horror, action, and gore. This game will also feature an online score system, varying difficulty settings, and easily accessible saving options. This is to make the game available to a majority of demographics such as pro gamers, light gamers, and even backseat gamers who are in it just for the show. For marketing, this game should be presented at gaming expos with shown gameplay. The game should also have a playable demo level, and lastly, public ads would also be amazing. Such as Easter eggs for the game that only fans would recognize to make them feel more personally connected to the game. And why this game is unique and is worthy of support. I believe this is worthy of support because it will offer more than enough original content that has replayability, which will last many players years of enjoyment. The mixture of story, horror, and over-the-top gory action will leave an amazing impression on many gamers, and I know this game will set a new bar for the entire franchise and genre for future video games. And I'm Gavin Torres, and thank you for listening to my project on Resident Evil 4, a game by Capcom. Thank you.